I can never stop midstream.
And I got a good green block, so I'm going to hit the button to record. Doesn't look like we're hot. Looks like we're good.
Rabbit is good.
Rabbit is wise.
I don't know what that means.
You guys ever watch Twister?
Hey, buddy,
like, what do you want, Brian? We're talking about Twister.
You never saw Twister?
Yes, I saw Twister. I watched
That's
Twister.
a great movie.
I get the reference. Rabbit is good. Rabbit is wise. Because he's the guy with the maps.
You never go with Aunt Meg's for steak and eggs?
No.
Oh.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, I'm Brian.
And I'm Joey.
And I'm Wes.
And we got Dave here.
Oh, man.
Man, let that man introduce himself.
Just let him
I've never seen Twister.
I'm sorry. This is episode 117 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel Ender. Come on along, everybody. Spend the next hour or so with us talking about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, playing in the woods in Pennsylvania, or just playing bikes. How's everybody doing tonight? Don't everybody speak at once.
Just wonderful. Well, I'm nervous because you had us practicing talking over each other, and it sounded really good. But now I'm nervous.
Sound good.
I wonder why people don't know about Bill Paxton's movies.
I don't understand that either. That's like iconic. Twister is iconic.
He's dead, too.
That's right.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, it's not like Predator.
About that. Oh, I forgot all about that he was.
Is this the Bill Paxton tribute episode?
It is.
Could be. It could be. Hey, everybody. Joining us tonight, Dave Pryor, to talk about plans for the 2021 unPAved of the Susquehanna River Valley. Thank you, Dave, for joining us, and welcome.
Thanks. It's great to be back. It's been a long time since we rock and rolled, so this is good.
Yeah.
Always good to see you. Always. I feel like we talk so much that it's like, it's
I
Dave.
know.
Just Dave. It's just Dave is here. So,
Dave's here.
yeah. What is everybody drinking tonight? Let's start with our guest, Dave. What do you got?
I am drinking, I have to look at the can now, a new pale ale from my friends at Bond Brewing in Bethlehem. It's the Pigtail Extra Pale Ale. I'll put that up on the cam for those of you.
I like the black and white art. That's cool.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Pull it back just a little bit and center it so we can see it. Take it a little bit to your left. There we go.
See, it looks different on the Zoom meeting because I can't see it as well when he does that.
That's
so
actually a pretty can. I like that.
Yeah.
And
You
I'm
got a
sorry.
nice can.
Wes, what do you
Already.
That's why Celine married him.
Wes, what do you have in front of you?
I'm in rare form tonight, Brian. Just nothing but vodka in a cup. No, it's actually just water tonight.
Yeah? Okay.
Going light, yeah.
Good job. Good job, Wes. Joey?
I got a campfire amplifier, some stout with graham crackers, cinnamon, cocoa, marshmallows with cocoa powder, and vanilla beans.
I remember when we had that before.
I told you they were blowing them out because apparently beer expires when you sell it.
I don't know. I have a pink bubbly. That's what Joey gave me. the pink bubbly.
Man, we're 50-50 on beer tonight.
Yeah. It happens. It happens.
I restocked my fridge since I think I went like beerless the last 3 months, and I got like 5 packs of beer over the last week.
Crack.
I was like, oops.
Let's start with Dave. Excuse us while we do just a little bit of housekeeping here for just a moment. Let's start with Wes. What have you been up to this week, my friend?
Well, there's a new brewery down the street from me, so I can walk down to this brewery, which is pretty sweet. Right across the railroad tracks. Takes me like 5 minutes to walk there, right on a bike trail. So not bad. Explored that this weekend. That was a lot of fun. What else? New background. Got my office moved a little bit until we get another room finished up.
Nice.
And then probably big thing for me is I got a promotion at work, so that's all right. That's why I'm wearing a little.
Is that why you can nap all day?
Wow.
Moving on up, yeah.
Are you number one trash taker outer now? What's going on, buddy?
Assistant to the regional manager, Brian.
To the regional manager.
Yeah.
Joey just changed hats too. Are you going to do that all night? Put on a different unpaved hat? You've got your full unpaved regalia. The T-shirt, the hat, the foam hat. Where's your buffalo?
It's up on my trainer in my trainer room. I had to support.
What do you got going on, Joey?
What?
What have you got going on this
Oh,
week?
I got a whole lot. I just took the shop switch owner, so I've been working a lot.
Ooh, that's right. It was a good episode.
A lot of stuff, Actually, we've been getting bikes.
don't.
Do you want to share any of it?
I don't know. That's why we
Why we're
asked.
here.
In
Why
the
people are
age
tuning
of
in.
in the age of managing a bike shop and COVID and taking new ownership and all this other stuff, it's been busy.
Yeah.
We had an amazing weekend with sales. We got a lot of bikes in. it looks like nothing happened because we sold them all over the weekend.
Wow.
That kind of stuff, you know.
You got like 20 bikes, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
they're all
more than
gone.
that. And they're all
Well,
gone already?
The 20 we got in, minus like a e-bike.
Wow.
But I had like 3 people ask for it today. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, the ship has sailed out of the Suez Canal, so, you know, we might get some parts a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um,
All those inner tubes are just been freed.
yeah. You know, here's one that'll get my wife her blood pressure up.
Okay.
I EP'd a new All City today.
Did you really?
Yeah, but I did it for an employee.
Oh.
Who also is like, hey, man, I don't get paid till Friday. I was like, it's not my problem. And I was like, all right. I was like, if you don't pay me back my Monday, my wife's going to come after you.
Which one?
The Nature Cross.
Okay. Okay.
Which
the Y'all
employee?
City?
Yeah, the All City. It's the popsicle looking one. Because we
No, is it
actually
the
have
Y'all City? They
Y'all
were doing
City.
Y'all
I
ones.
ordered those stickers.
Y'all
Nice.
City?
Yeah, there's
Y'all City's from North Carolina, I'm pretty sure.
the Y'all City. There, I don't know if Dave, you remember the backstory on that. There was someone selling them as a fundraiser for someone I forgot. I don't know. So they sell
don't know.
the Y for the Y'all City.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
I get the y'all.
Well, they're
versus
doing
all.
it for a charitable contribution.
What we need now is a yin city.
I don't get that one.
Oh, come on.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, yins.
We have U's. Yeah, in Pennsylvania, you have U's for Philly. You have Y'all for the center of Pennsylvania. You have Yins for Pittsburgh area. So we got it all here.
What's the first like street youths?
Street Utes.
Utes? Yeah.
Utes.
Like Schmidt.
Yeah,
That's-
like
that's-
street. Yeah, that's
That's an LA
Just want
thing.
anything with that?
So for me this week, I'm gonna. I'm very.
we didn't ask though.
What?
What are you up to
I
this
don't
week,
ask
Brad?
myself. I just start in. I give everybody the opportunity. I'm going to deliver my long-term review of my Rootworks bag that came in earlier
I know.
today.
I asked you earlier. Why didn't you bring it by?
I was getting ready to walk. I was walking out the door, and
You had
I
to get me dinner,
I had my hands full. I was on my way to buy your dinner.
which was a
And-
lovely surprise. I didn't know about it until you got here.
Well, we talked about it earlier, but you didn't know what you were getting because I asked
I
you
didn't
what
look
you-
at my text messages.
at all. Well, Joey is basically MIA. You know, if you're trying to get a hold of Joey, it's tough. It's tough.
Oh, I understand that inappropriate text message now. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Oh, my password?
No, but I am very excited that my Rootworks bag showed up today because the shipping from China said it was going to be here sometime towards the end of April, and it had not updated. So it was a happy surprise, happy day when I went out and there was this box that was sitting right there with Rootworks right on the top of it. I opened it up. I haven't put it on my bike yet because I need to clean my Diverge up and bring it by the shop, Joey, for you to give it a little. I'm going to clean it up real good. I'm going to clean it up real good, but I just want professional eyeballs on it before I take it off to Texas, if that makes sense. Okay, Joey?
Yep.
Are you paying attention to me?
I actually don't have Restream open, so I'm going off the video.
Because I do have tours coming up. I'm headed to Texas here in just like a week and a
Yay.
half. Yeah,
All
believe
right.
it or not, tours are going to happen again.
I was gonna how's that shaping out? What's that landscape look like?
There's lots of protocols and there's lots of things that could go sideways. Just like Dave's probably going to talk about with unPAved. There's a bazillion things can go sideways, but the closer you get to them, the better things look. And right now, Texas is a big one. It's an event tour. So I think we've got like 30 or 35 participants and a full staff, and it's an event. So there's caterers and there's all sorts of stuff that are happening with that. It'll be the second time that I've done Texas Hill Country down there when the bluebonnets are in bloom.
Oh,
and
nice. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I remember you
Absolutely.
talked about that before. Yeah.
The last time I was down there, it's breathtaking. Honestly, it's just breathtaking,
Yeah.
and it's in little section of Texas between San Antonio and Austin, centered around New Braunfels, and it's the sort of the German influence. Luckenbach is on the list, and Fredericksburg, and Blanco, and really gorgeous country with all the flowers and blooms. Absolutely fantastic. We ride through LBJ's ranch.
We ride at dawn.
Yeah, actually we do. Sometimes it's like, wow, you got to beat them out. And then in May, I've got back-to-back Gap trips coming up. So we're doing a 4-day Gap trip. So we start.
If you do it in reverse, is it the PAG?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're going to do it the Gap one time and then the PAG the next time.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
And
I might join you on one of those.
be fun.
Just
do it.
just riding along and run into you.
You just JRA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Stop me.
I like that. Then you'd fix my bike if it's broke.
I'm not a bike mechanic.
That I'm excited for Gap. I was looking at some old videos from Gap, and today when I was sending out some welcome emails and doing some introduction stuff. And this I find very exciting, and I don't know if any of my participants have realized this, but we're going to be on the Gap Trail right in the middle of Brood X.
Of what?
Brood X, the cicadas. The cicadas.
Oh, man, you're missing some good fishing.
They're back again?
The 17-year cicadas come out this year, and so we're going to be camping right in the middle of the Great Allegheny Passage with the Brood X. That's going to be fun. And I found a recipe for Chinese wok-style cicadas.
I heard it's good.
You put them in a bucket. You catch them there alive. You put them in a bucket of water so they don't fly away. And then you prepare the wok and do all the stuff in the oil and heat it up. And then you pluck their wings and pluck their legs and throw them in the pan with all sorts of other like spices and oils and stuff.
So you adventure cyclists just carry on walks with you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
just making sure.
Especially bringing a wok, Well, when you're on a bike trip, sometimes if you get a flat, you may have to walk somewhere.
I was gonna go there, but
oh God, I'm so.
Unless
funny.
you're too tired, and then you can't. Yeah.
At least that was a shorter setup than your toe joke.
True that.
Was that the alligator one or whatever from Florida?
Yeah, no, the toe joke, the tow truck.
It was like half an episode set up.
Yeah.
to listen to you guys, you adventure cyclists instructors around a campfire one night.
Oh, the stories we could tell.
Would put me right to sleep. It'd be great.
You'd have to get there before 5:30 because everybody's in bed by 6.
Real quick, Ted just said Twister was the first movie put out on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So let's do that, Joey. Dip over and catch up in the live stream. Tell us who's going on. What's going on over there?
Jessica said, "Hi, Dave."
Hi, Jess.
Chuck Pitts says, "Howdy from the Mitten State." Hey, there's another Michigonian here.
Mm-hmm.
Willie. Hey, dudes.
Crack of the week.
Eddie said, "Let him know when you're in Pittsburgh."
Perfect.
Crack of the week.
I don't know after that because I'm just going off the YouTube.
Because Eddie's REI in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll do that because we're gonna. I'll send you the dates, Eddie. Well, maybe we can hook up or something. That would be kind of fun.
Just for everyone's common knowledge, Eddie might be able to change. I've heard rumors that REI was getting huge shipments of bike parts at times, but they sell out like really quickly. So keep your eyes peeled on REI for like GRX stuff.
That makes sense.
Not that I'm saying support your local bike shop, but right now
Or your local bike shop.
Yeah. I've been buying stuff from everywhere. Our 12-speed chains from Competitive because I had to.
So let me see. I got Philly Ted here. I'm gonna scroll back. Larry is here. Hey, Larry. Larry is what are you a week behind?
Yo, Philly.
That was Philly Ted that said that Twister was the first movie put on DVD. Yeah. Travis is here. He's got his bourbon flowing. Keith is here. Have Bike Wheel Gravel.
Mine really sounds terrible right now.
It's not me. Okay, I thought it might be my.
Oh, my internet connection is unstable. This happened last week, where everything went a little haywire.
It's a twister. It's a twister.
I like what Opus said. 7 people watching and only 2 likes. Hit that thumbs up. There we go. And that's about. I think you hit all the others. Ted's here. Eddie's here. That's about it. Now we actually have a couple of voicemails. I'm going to play.
Did you ask Dave what he was up to this week?
Dave, what have you been up to this week? Well, Dave's gonna regale
looking
us.
at computer screens. Listening to podcasts and looking at computer screens. Move along.
First voicemail I've got is actually Chuck from Michigan. Stand by. Let me try to get this thing to play so we can all hear it.
Is it because I was going to quit?
Hey guys, this is Chuck from the Mitten State calling in with a race report. First race of the year for us up here, the 30-30 gravel race. Let's see, we started in waves of, I think it was 15 to 20 people. They had us all wear masks for the first mile, which wasn't too bad. By the time the first mile hit, you're like ready to rip it off, but that was okay. Roads were great, a little bumpy, normal for Michigan. My goal was to get it in under 2 hours, which I did.
Good job.
By about 10 minutes. Yay me. And earlier in an episode, you had the kitchen sink handlebar. Well, I rode that bar today. Ooh. And if you like to be upright, it's a very nice bar. It lifts you up a little bit. The drops are really shallow, so it's easier to ride in them. Mm-hmm. The arrow, not so much. That's not too comfy because they're too close together for me, but whatever. You wanted to keep it short. That's short.
Nice.
Can't wait for the podcast. See ya from Michigan.
That's how you do it, Chuck. Minute 10.
Nailed it.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
That's perfect. So, Wes, is this the race that you were going to do?
Yeah, definitely. It's totally gonna do that one. Yeah, but Chuck beat me to it. It was too fast.
You need to get in on that scene there, Wesley. You need to get out there.
Wes has to start riding his bicycle.
Yeah.
Hey, Wes, you want some
There's
gravel
that one.
wheels? I got gravel wheels here for you.
I know. I need to send that label.
I have one of these unpaved shirts for you too, and a GTD jersey,
and a GTD shirt. I got a GTD shirt for you. We have all sorts of stuff for you.
It looks a lot like this. You might like it.
I guess
it'll be all right.
It's so soft.
To be fair,
I don't know what shirt's softer. This one,
that shirt.
This shirt's amazing.
The unpaved shirt is. Hit all the buttons.
I did get my dirty kitten finally. I check my mail like once every 2 weeks. My unkitten, whatever.
Dirty kitten
shirt's also very high. Everyone's going. Everyone's got on the shirt train now.
Well, I think we set a trend with being very t-shirt conscious, t-shirt aware with regards to the, how comfortable your t-shirts are, because it's important.
No more crap box t-shirts. No.
Yeah, it's super important. No more beefy Hanes. Say no to beefy Hanes. No. Because they're super cheap, and that's why people would use them.
Blends, right?
Yeah,
the blends are nice. People wear them, and then you actually get your stuff seen.
You don't get You give somebody a beefy Hanes T-shirt, and it's basically a rag they use to wipe their car down with. That's what it is.
It's better to just buy a rag.
Yeah,
just buy the rag and let people have a rag to clean your chain with and see it there.
That's what
beefy
it comes
Hanes
down
was my
to.
nickname in high school.
Yep, that's what it comes down to. So thank you, Chuck, for that email. Very much appreciate, or voicemail, excuse me. Appreciate that. I got another one. This one is from Keith.
Hello, Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel Dirt Crew. Keith from Have Bike Will Gravel here with a riding adventure. Since you've been lacking in recent voicemails, I wanted to leave a message about some training for the Sweetwater Whiskey Rebellion ride I've been doing. I love the episode where you interviewed Laura from Sweetwater Bikes, and she's been very helpful to me in my bike packing outfitting. Anyway, I've been going down to Prosperity, Pennsylvania to try this route, and let me tell you, it's a really challenging course. Seriously, they're not kidding about the elevation technical requirements. You can find videos on YouTube if you search Whiskey Rebellion Ride. There's a lot of climbing and descents on less than stable gravel, and I'm talking about the big, chunky driveway gravel. Some are paved with what they call fresh chips and oil. Others are small chip gravel that's been beaten into the ground by all the console energy truck traffic that's operating in the region. Boo. I use the 2019 route on Strava to train with, but they change it slightly every year. Regardless, it's a good introduction to the area and great to be back out and riding now that the weather is turning here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Thanks for listening. I'll send you some more updates as we get closer to that May 22nd race. Love you. Bye.
And once again, a minute 18. Perfect.
Love you.
Bye.
It's
just absolutely so. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Keith. Absolutely spot on with regards to voicemail etiquette. I would say I would give that an A.
And now Brian has to have a mustache, and I'll stick.
No, because I do have a YouTube subscriber update where we're going to talk about. I've actually started with my mustache. I know.
Really?
Well, we go ahead and get there. So the Mustache Challenge now stands at 975 subscribers, and we need 2,000. That was the number that Wes decided by some point in the future. I'm still unsure what that date might be. But I have been, and I don't know if you can see it. Can you see my mustache?
I carry Sharpies in my shop.
I think there's a pill you can get from your doctor that'll help you.
Yeah, I've been working on this for about 3 weeks now, so it's coming in good. I will scare children. I will scare all sorts of people with a mustache. So if you want to see that or be a part of that, then hit that subscribe button.
Brian sent a picture of a fish the other day, and I thought he was posting a picture from last year, but he didn't have teeth this picture, so I know it wasn't a lie.
Did that really confuse you?
I was like, he has to be lying. Then I was like, nope, there's no teeth. That's recent.
That was a nice fish, too.
Yeah. That's the next podcast.
Shouldn't have caught it, but, it is what it is. Joey, what's going on in the Strava Club?
All right, let me get back over to my...
Sorry we're taking so long, Dave.
All right. Dave's Ricardo Mello of San Rafael, California, with 154. Is that Gary or Jerry?
I would say
That's
Jerry.
Like Gary Gergich.
Gary.
Gary Weber of Atlanta, Georgia, with 127 miles. And then Josh Bennett of Wilmington, North Carolina, at 255 even.
Job.
To make the top 100, we're up to 122.3. That's about our median.
I think that's down a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah.
We went up 1 to 716 in our Strava club. And if you're not a member, strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt.
Thank you, Ricardo, Jerry, and Josh for playing along. Good job, guys, on Big Miles this week. Now, what everybody is here for, let us welcome Dave Pryor. Welcome, Dave.
Oh, I'm here. Hi, I'm back. Sorry, I was napping. Wes gave me inspiration to nap. I'm back.
So, Dave, I left everything sort of free flow here, buddy.
That's how we do.
Tell us what's going on in the world of UnPAved. Where are you at?
unPAved of the Susquehanna River Valley. What we're calling it this year is remember 2019?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that much fun we had? You guys were there.
I got a sunburn.
You got sunburn. I don't think Brett and Lisa's lawn's been mowed since, but anyway,
They have a kid
we
for
all
that
had a good
now.
time. Like we were all hanging out and hugging and having pierogies with each other and all that sort of stuff. That was great. 2020 happened. We had an event. Like we actually were one of the few that happened, and we were pretty proud of it. And people had a good time. It was very different, but since we knew it was different, we tried some things, and some of those things are going to stick. So we're combining the two. We're taking what we loved about 2019 with the things we tried and realized working are viable for 2020. And we think with numbers going down, hopefully still, though we've had a little bump here in Pennsylvania recently, but we'll see. October's still far off. We're planning for a fairly open 2021 unPAved. So
Nice.
we have registration will open on April 11th. It'll be a lottery, and I'll get to that part later. We're going to have 800 spots available for what we're calling unPAved, which is the 120-mile full course, which is the same course as we had last year. It's a little different from 2019, but it flowed a lot better. The 90 course will be back, which is basically everything but the difference, because the difference is still there, and it's still the difference. And we are doing a new thing this year, thanks to Ted Redmer's guinea pigging for us last year on the overnight option.
Nice. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. So that will be those 800 spots in the lottery will open on April 11th. We'll keep the lottery open for a couple weeks and kind of explain that why in a little bit too. But because there's some bridge construction happening in the forest, it might be done by then, it might not. So the 50-mile that I think is kind of the perfect bike ride there, the proper 50, I keep calling it. If that bridge is out, then that route is impossible. It's just not doable at all. So just to make sure we can have some certainty in life, let's try. We're calling what is not an unPAved in the forest, some paved. Because it's a little more paved road than what goes into the forest. It's still the quiet farm roads of Susquehanna River Valley. It's beautiful. It's idyllic. There are some gravel bits in it, but it's kind of more that prototypical or that typical Pennsylvania. It's the perfect farm road. Sometimes it's paved. Generally it's paved, but sometimes it's dirt. And that's what this will be. The 50 will be a completely different course. I'll have come back on a couple things, but it's going to do stuff to the south that I've never been on personally. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to hopefully check that out in a couple of weeks. It's Brett Chatterton, our course designer. That's his go-to road ride. Bina Blinky rides it all the time. And people think, well, this is kind of our standard ride. So I'm like, okay, let's use the local standard ride.
Absolutely.
And it'll have its own aid station with that. But then circle back. The 30 is what we used to call unPAved. And that kind of goes the start of our 90 and 120 courses, but circles back to Mifflinburg. And then the 20, which is a new one, which is really rail trail out and back. So that stays on the rail trail.
But they hit the important
but the
part.
good news
which
with all that is also
the
Rusty Rail Brewery is back in play.
Yeah, that's
so last year we couldn't go there, but now we're feeling pretty confident that the Rusty Rail will be the aid station, the final aid station again, which
excellent.
is always great news. And the Millis Center will be back as our start finish.
Nice.
Which is also great news. It's so wonderful. They're actually now a YMCA. They've had some ownership changes in there over the last year. Which doesn't really affect the event that much, other than they have a little more infrastructure and they're aligned with the hospitals, which affects me a lot because now I get a little more medical support,
Okay.
which is helpful. We have an ambulance on course last year, and so that'll kind of be back. And that's it for infrastructure. I think that's like the general thing.
That Miller Center is a very, very nice facility.
So
Yes.
nice.
Very nice facility.
And I hesitate saying this, but
But wait,
no one's going to listen to this, right?
Totally not.
No,
Yeah.
nobody listens to this.
The hotel being built next to the Miller Center should be open.
Wow.
So then there's a hotel basically at the start finish.
Wow, that's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
Does that mean we wouldn't get to stay with Brett?
he has a
You could. I
foundling
mean,
now?
again, you're going to have to mow the lawn before you set a tent up out there. In a couple of years.
He's just
Just get him a yard Roomba.
He's so close to the brewery though. That was the
I know.
That's a cool brewery, too. What
Super
a cool
cool.
building.
super
Speaking
cool.
of that, and I'll talk about that part later. But there might be more happening with the brewery over the year or the next year as well.
Okay.
They're very excited about getting more bike events. They realize that they have an opportunity to really be a brewery in Mid-Atlantic gravel.
Yeah.
Now that Rusty Rail beers I think they're available in Maryland now. They're
Oh.
definitely around Pennsylvania.
they have been selling them at the liquor store by us.
Really?
Which,
There you
which is
go.
why I went in there yesterday to get Rusty Rail beer for tonight. And they
When did you first see that? Because I haven't seen that. I don't go in there a lot though. So
I have a problem. No, they
You
used
have
to
a
have them up front.
opportunity.
Yeah. But the one time I wanted the Rusty Rail, yeah. Anyway,
okay.
we'll get some down here.
You should call your 50 repaved.
I like that. I'll write that one down.
That's why we love Wes. And he's out. See you, Wes.
And I'm done. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I can't
Mic
contribute
drop.
anymore.
Now he's gonna start playing World of Warcraft or whatever. This is.
He does play that.
I know.
Doesn't play anymore.
So keep going, Dave. Keep going. Where do you want to go next? We've got sort of all the different courses.
I have all the different courses. I
little bit
do
about the
believe we have a
infrastructure.
call on Thursday with the town just to figure where things are at. Like we have 2 or 3 different plans for how the Saturday Fall Festival could work. They're pretty committed to having it open again. They're going to hopefully have another festival in the summer before then, so we can kind of see how things work.
Okay.
So either everything congregate in the park again, or if we need to spread things out, there's more open areas around town and have it just bounce around all over town. We even have a vision where it could just be lining up the rail trail and just have vendors so that's more single file in that regard. So we have options on that. And so
Okay.
again, it's those things where we're planning to have the infrastructure from 2019 and just edit it as necessary versus completely alter the event 3 times a week, every week between now and then.
Can I take just a minute to recap? I mean, we may have some people that aren't familiar with what happened in 2019 that were, just maybe experiencing 2020.
You should go back and listen to that episode with us. That was your recap of that was fantastic.
Yeah, I think, in my world, it was just such a complete weekend. It was the showing up, meeting Dave on the road. It was very, we were in slow motion running down the sidewalk, met in hugs, and then hanging out in the bar, and then the next day with the festival, and then
the kid
was there, and we had the things going on in the theater, and then the woolly worm was going on. Then we had liquor whoopie pies, and this is all.
I didn't have one of those.
This is
It's
all
so good.
This is all happening before the event actually takes place. It's like all of this magic is happening.
I got whoopie pies in the fridge.
Do you really?
Yeah.
All of this amazing experience is happening before you ever even get to the ride. And then the way that day started, it was foggy and it was misty and it was a little cool, and there was Wes half dressed down the end of the rail trail.
So cold, just standing alone.
And
Some
Larry,
man I never met in his
My
car.
friend Andrew pulls up.
So nice.
I got
This person need
dropped
help,
from the
and it's
lead
down
out.
here.
Joey couldn't keep up with Ted King when we were doing the lead out. Larry's on his
Clips
broken
out.
bike. That was the ride that Larry actually convinced his wife that he needed a gravel bike, because we made a little video and I explained to Betsy exactly that Larry needed this new style of bike in the fold.
It
Made
was
the world a better place.
A few months after he got new diverge.
Right on.
Yeah, and then we're sitting on the chaise up on Hobo Vista, and then it's back down to the brewery, and then it's done paved at the end, which was like the magic just kept coming and coming and coming. I hope I've painted a little bit of the picture of what 2019 was.
I'm signing up. Who wants to run an event? I want to go do that.
But that's what you did, Dave. That's exactly what you did. And I'm so stoked. I mean, to hear that even if we get a little bit of that back, a little bit of that magic sprinkled, then I think everybody's in for a fantastic time. So I'll let you go back to talking about where you were. I just wanted to kind of
need some help over there?
Well, because we've talked so much about 2019, and if somebody didn't understand and know where it was coming from, then maybe
magical.
they wouldn't get it. But it really was. It really was.
I know. Can you send me that audio clip?
You could catch it on your
Is
favorite
that a
podcast.
voiceover for our promo video coming out?
Speaking of audio clips, you like the audio clip last week?
What audio clip last week? Oh, yeah, the shifty thing.
Shifty things.
But, Joey made a good point in that.
Yes. That's not what people don't know what derailers are.
No.
Right. And you were spot on.
Yeah.
So I take full heat.
He was perfect in that video.
Yep. It was very good, Dave.
As long as hopefully people realize they put their brakes back on. I didn't do that in the video. But anyway. So yeah, that again, we want to try and recreate as much of that as possible so that we can do. I do wish there was a lot more tests out in the world so we could have more testing post events and have some sort of understanding that what kind of COVID spread comes from an outdoor event. It does not seem to be much, if any, come from outdoor activity and bike racing kind of activities are happening on. Though we don't know because we're not a high priority thing, and that's fine. I feel pretty confident we can do this because the Boston Marathon's happening the same weekend. Yeah. And that's 2,000 people running next to each other. A lot less spread out than we are. And if they're confident with it and they get science, Boston is talking a lot of scientists with that.
Yeah.
No one's really going to give me in a gravel events that amount of clinical research. They will give to the Boston Marathon. So that makes me feel much more confident that we can pull off a more 2019 than 2020.
Right.
That said, some of the stuff we did in 2020, we're going to keep, such as we are going to keep segment racing.
Okay.
We are not timing it from the start of the Miller Center to the return of the Miller Center. A number of reasons. One, I can't remember who I was listening or reading to years ago, but they said it was like, if you want to know something about the event, see what the promoter rides, and it's probably going to be a lot like that.
Okay.
I don't like start time finish. I like casual times where I could ride with you guys for a while, and then we get to a point, and then we race each other up that point, and then we wait at the end of that point, like at a vista, and we talk about how hard that climb was and something like that. And we ride casually to the rest stop, and then we talk about, and then we crush each other on the next section. We're racing each other more than we're racing everyone else. Right. Now, part of that's because I get dropped immediately as soon as the race starts. So all of a sudden my race is done.
Is that a lot like the Grinduro format without taking that name of it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sure, if they had patented it and we could buy that patent, I would buy that patent. But it's been happening. I mean, they got it from Enduros happening in Europe. They got it from Motos. I mean, this is not like brand new. But what does work, I think, really well now is because of technology, people understand it because that's how Strava works.
Yeah.
Your ride, and you're riding around, and all of a sudden I'm racing up 2nd Street against my PR, I'm against my friends in the KOM or whatever it's going to be, but I'm not doing my entire lunch ride. It's not a race, but I'm going to race myself up a couple segments that I have locally, and people understand that. So they're doing it on their own with their device in front of them. If we can extend that on a gravel event, fantastic. It's safer through all the intersections. It's safer on all the descents. People can relax in the aid stations because it's not timed. All the best things about events that are not timed don't have to be timed. So everyone will rush through it. I mean, people lose their minds trying to like fill a water bottle and shove each other out of the way and like forget something in their drop bag. And all of a sudden they're in the course and they forgot the extra tube. And now they're walking for 2 miles until someone gets in the tube. Forget all that. Stop in your drop bag and look through it and pull all the things out you want and that sort of thing. You're not being timed then.
Love it.
I think that's, yes, I'm 100% convinced. I believe now, and it's, with courses are going to be feature rich. What you're going to time your best thing. We have hills. So basically it's going to be the hills are what we time, because that's what the course is like. But we're trying to make it as much as possible. I think we'll have 40 miles of the 120-mile course is what's timed.
Okay.
So still a good amount. I mean, that's
that's a long race, right?
Sure.
That would be a long race.
Oh,
but it's not the rail trail start finish, because why would you try and race that, crossing intersections and dodging kids and dogs and that sort of stuff? That shouldn't be timed. It's not some of the busy intersections. Any of the major road intersections you have to cross, not timed. So stop at the stop signs, and that sort of stuff. So I think that's going to happen. And where that works really well, especially in COVID times, is we're keeping the start when you want format.
Okay.
Since it's not a start finish all at the same time pack race sort of situation, there's no reason to start everyone at the exact same time. You have a window from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. I think I said it as. If you are a person who probably needs 12 to 14 hours to do the 120 miles or 90-mile course, then you should start early. If you are not, if you are a fast person who's like, you know what, I'd rather wait until it's closer to 45, 50 degrees than 33 degrees and not have to carry a jacket and start, go for it. You can start later in the day. There's no reason to start everyone at 7:30 or wait for the fog to lift at 7:15 when people can start leisurely at their own pace. And then the beautiful part of that is you'll see the fast people come by at some point out on course. It's not like, hey, wow, I'm starting with Allison and Ted and Kelly and all these people, and they're like, they're gone.
Yeah.
You never see them the rest of the day. Now you start 7:30, you see them come through at some point. Either it'll be on a segment and you can watch them go as fast as humanly possible and you won't believe how fast they can climb a hill, or you'll see them between segments even better and you can chat because they're not racing then.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Transylvania Mountain Bike Epic. I mean, I'm riding with Barry Wicks for like a good chunk of a day and Mark Weir for a good chunk of the day because it's between segments. Like, when does that happen? So, again, it's another great reason. It just creates more of what's gravel community. Another great way to create community.
Creates community on the course, which is harder to come by because we've always focused on the before and the after.
Which is great.
But you're expanding that, like you just described, to create community during the event, which is a different kind of animal. That's
right.
So
then when Evan's slinging around pierogies and meatballs,
bacon,
and po patty, everyone can have a pierogi. Before the race, the top shelf racers weren't stopping for pierogies. Now they're going to like pierogies. Pierogies the best thing I've ever had.
How are you doing the segment timing? Is that RFID or are you just using Strava?
No, we're going to use timing devices.
Okay.
We are doing that because we kind of want to be one of those events. We want to be able to say, as someone comes through, here's where you're at. Hey, you're in the hot seat right now. Let's take your photo at the hot seat in front of the podium. We're not going to do a podium thing because it will take forever to get everyone's results in. So and the example I'll use is last year with, why am I blanking on his name? Oh, shoot. Something I should have looked up. I'll do that as we, through the magic of interwebs. I want to say it's Ryan. It's close to that.
Brian.
Sure, Brian. I feel bad. Things you should know. One of the things I am very bad about in being a promoter is people's names. And people come up to me all the time. Like, hey, Dave. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, we understand.
Everyone knows you.
Well, there's only one Dave Pryor.
I was going to say, we understand, Steve.
Friend. Yeah. Hey, folks.
Hey, there's enough things to
Thanks
try to
to the
remember.
matching of Ben Wright. All right. So
We should all get name tags.
So Ben, young kid out of Virginia, flew the course. Like his time was 7:30 total. Like he's a racer. He started, went, and finished. He did not pace himself between segments much, if anything. He crushed. So he finished at, 2:00 in the afternoon. He was home in Virginia by the time we would have had awards because I have to wait for everyone to come in. Like imagine Jamie Bestwick, who's 14-time X Games gold medalist, was doing the event. He can crush some segments. He's an athlete, but he started last and was riding with friends. And he didn't come in until like 8 or 9. And I don't know who's winning until all the times come in. Someone could stop at the Rusty Rail for 5 hours and roll in right at the deadline and be our winner. But why make Ben sit around for 6 hours until we can do awards.
Well,
let's take a photo and say we'll send you something later, but we have your photo for the press when we announce it.
But there will be unPAved, which is probably a 6 or 8 hour event. At least that's what I turned it into.
Well, there is that. Some of them don't necessarily unPAved as long as the rest of us.
So how's the bike packing component of it, the overnight? How's that going to play out?
Very much like how Ted did. I don't know if he's chiming in the comments anywhere.
Ted, are you here?
It's another episode to go back and listen to because his recap was great, and we're going to share his video a little bit too.
Which was fantastic. If you haven't seen Ted's video from unPAved from last year, fantastic.
Show notes.
Yes, show notes. Check the show notes.
Did the legal side of that get sorted out?
No, not one bit.
No. Sweet.
No, it was totally illegal.
Even better.
That's fine. Yeah.
Ted is here. He just chimed in the comments.
Oh, did he?
Yep, he's here.
Nice.
So they can start anytime after noon on Saturday, so the day before.
Okay.
Because we use Popatty State Park as one of our rest areas, and we have to block off, they're all campsites is what we block off to use for the water station, for the drop bag station, for the mechanic station. Those are all campsites. So we reserve them for the entire weekend. It's like, well, let's just open them up to some people who want to do it, which is what Ted did last year. He asked if he could do it. I'm like, yeah, we have those reserved, and people will be there anyway. So, yep. He tested it. He loved it. We are opening it up. There's also a group tent area for 20 people that we reserved. So I figure at least 20. I'm not sure. I'm curious to see how the lottery plays out and how many people sign up for it. When we put the Instagram post up, it got a lot of love. So it could be a bigger thing than I think it is. It won't be a segment timed event. Those Chips, timing Johns, I like to call them from the Philly vernacular. The Johns only work for 24 hours. So can't guarantee that a time, start by noon and you have to finish by noon. I mean, that's not what the idea of bike camping is about.
No, yeah, most of the people aren't racing.
No.
It's still going after 24 hours. So you've doctor attention.
Right. I mean, you can go back on Strava and see how you did in the segments if you want to do some math. That's totally cool. So I'm planning kind of more of a scavenger hunt sort of competition in a way, but it's really going to be just not fastest known time. It'd be bestest known time or funnest known time. Like it's really going out. It's like, this is a really fantastic course.
You should get everybody like an egg to start with, and they have to finish the ride with that egg intact.
See, that's your second great idea, Wes.
And you got to have like
You're on a roll.
Dave's initials on it.
Dave just gets my juices flowing.
I will adopt you. Or hire you. Maybe hire.
Yeah.
That might be a better term for my
I'm for it, yeah.
So there was something in the notes
a good
about
idea.
transporting gear. Did
Sure.
I caught that correct?
Yep. We have to ship a lot of stuff out to Popatty Saturday night. So if someone wants to ride it pretty late and send a tent out or food or that sort of thing, I mean, we'll do that. Just figure like $10 for a shipping fee back and forth seems reasonable.
I'm curious
So
how
then
many
you can ride it pretty late,
I'm
or
curious.
you can do it as like, I want to try bike camping, and here's my pretty structured way to do it, because there will be service and stuff there. And if you want, you can leave Ted realized he should have done later is leave the camp gear off your bike while you do the difference, because you're coming back to that same spot and not do the 30 hardest miles of the course with full load on.
That's like the best way to dabble into bike packing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you're surrounded by support.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
And
what
food at
facilities
the-
do they have like accessible to them there? Like, are there bathrooms at Popatty, or is it gonna be
Not
potties,
shower.
or-
There's a creek. That'd be fine. There's water.
Hobo
There's
bath.
food, there's electricity nearby. There's going to be our support crew will be there.
There's this tall guy making
and-
food.
Yeah, and depending what's doable by then might be fun.
Awesome.
There is no alcohol allowed in a Pennsylvania state park. Full disclosure.
Keep that in mind, everybody. I want
I'm
to
not laughing.
I want to piggyback something real quick. And see, they're already in the comments. Opus wants to know if there's any plans for a week-long Pennsylvania event. So I think that's not something that's in Dave's purview right now. But let's get the
Long weekend. We are in talks with forestry about how to do a camp, how to do a weekend camp, how to do a week-long tour, how to do kind of a retreat sort of thing. I would love to have a Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel Dirt retreat up there, and maybe we can try and pull one of those off this year as a test.
I'm all over that.
Could you close the blinds?
Can I close the blinds? Yes, I'll close the blinds.
Yeah,
I'd be all over that
because it's about to get real. It's about to get serious.
Joey's taking his shirt off here.
Close everything down. We're about to talk secret stuff. Wait, this is going to happen.
We're gonna make animal noises.
Otherwise, you remember Billy Madison with Chris Farley?
That's correct.
Okay,
So how
I'm
many
back.
people, like, what's the lottery system look like? How many people can get on this camping?
The camping one?
Oh.
We were originally going to block out at 20, but since everyone kind of has to be in that, we have 800 person permit to have in the forest. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to open up the lottery and see how many people try and sign up for the 120 one day, the 90 one day, or the overnight, and let the chips fall where they may.
Gotcha.
Love it.
I'm curious. That's one of the nice things about the bike ride setup is I can say to them, like, okay, a lot more people want to do the 90 than I thought they wanted to do, or a lot more people want to do the overnight than I thought they wanted to do, and now we can make some adjustments. So they'll be open for about 2 weeks.
So
Okay.
this might be a little early, maybe not to be said. Is there any, I guess, big hitters you have invited or coming?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Some have reached out a while ago. We do have a little COVID compression of the calendar because Sea Otter's happening the same weekend.
Oh.
Ooh.
And I know that takes a lot of pro class attention.
Yeah.
And if it does, it does. I was talking to a potential sponsor. I think there'll be a sponsor next year, and that was their barrier. They couldn't pull off both. And I guess cyclocross World Cups are happening the same time frame. And it's like, how are you going to? They actually thought we might move. I'm like, dude, if we can do. If we're okay to have Sea Otter, World Cups, unPAved, the Boston Marathon all happen the same weekend, you can throw in Mardi Gras, Carnival. They're all on the same weekend. I'll be so happy we can do things. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't
Actually,
care.
that could be the most COVID safe thing, because if you get everybody and just pull them in a bunch of different directions.
Right. We're just, we're socially spreading to everywhere.
Yeah.
It's actually smart. So what does the sponsor shakeout look like so far?
Great. Susquehanna River Valley Ridges Bureau, they're back. Things are opening up there, and they're very happy. They're big. There's a lot more that's going to come for cycling in that region. They realize what they have. So more will be coming from that.
Okay.
I won't say anything right now, but we've been talking a lot, and there's a lot of good things in the works. Salsa, back for sure.
Excellent. Excellent.
They probably will not be traveling this year at all. So I don't think we'll get the fancy new Che, but we haven't talked that out yet. But Stan's No Tubes, of course, is back. Goo Energy Labs, back. Floyd's of Leadville, back. Nittany Mountain Works, back. I just got a new half pack. That's very delightful. I think Reload's back. Lupine Lights. I'm just doing off the top of my head right now, which is kind of fun. Valet is back. We'll be doing the same kits we did last year because we realized so few people got them because it was a limited event, and they are beautiful.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to do those ones again. I have to actually so much to do in the next week. They're back. But Giro is also going to come on. I'm going to do some fun things with Giro. I like some of their stuff. Philly Bike Expo, Purple Lizard Maps. Richie's going to come on a little bit bigger. They are thinking of doing something fun on Friday night too. Stay tuned for that. They're big. They love the Friday night scene as well.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
And they might do something a little extra fun on Sunday as well out on course. Chamois butter back, and they love the bacon that was at Pope Patty. So how do we do something with like butter and bacon? I'm like,
Well,
I wouldn't mix the two, but I like where you're going with this. So,
I hope they have like a bacon like flavored chamois butter that comes out. Just like bacon and just something like just awful.
that is the time where we figure out how much bacon.
Like an April 1st like
we could fit
release
in a bag.
of chamois butter.
I will talk to Kurt tomorrow.
Yeah. Joey was just talking to you. Joey and I were doing a little side here. Little Pope Patty happenings with
Frame bag.
little frame bag happening. See how many
Little half
how
pack.
much bacon we can fit in one. How many pierogies we can fit in
I
one.
have to
That's what you do. How much can you fit and bring back to your promoter by the end of the?
Oh yes, yeah.
There's
I
your
love it.
contest.
There it is. And how much of it actually survived. Well, I know for me,
You know what?
a lot of the bacon would be consumed along the way. Yeah,
I
so-
have to talk
That's
to Evan tomorrow
Okay.
about a store thing. I am totally going to bring this up finally.
Bring it up.
Yeah.
Bring it up. It'd be fun little
Good PR.
Be gun shtick. It'd be a good
Yeah.
shtick. It'd be fun. And, that could be the GTD retreat. It's bacon and pierogies.
They are not far. I mean, well, that's another idea. Is a GTD retreat out where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep
They took me on a hard. That ride was
Well, I don't like that.
beautiful, and Evan is
Way to
Evan
start
has
that one
one
out.
speed, and it's a lot faster than me.
You go.
Didn't he ride to Philly Bike Expo?
No, probably no.
Two-
Helena did.
2 years ago because I
H
bought
did.
one of his bags off his bike and I felt
No,
bad.
that wasn't him. That was H. She rode down.
I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Well, I think 19 Evan.
Or
rode
maybe
down.
they taken turns. But yeah,
It's
you
crazy
guys
though.
went down, but we missed each other. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody got anything? Dave, you got anything?
Dennis,
that we-
wait, Dennis is a sponsor. And I'm sure I did.
Rusty, are they? Do they sponsor?
Rusty Rail. Yeah, they are back as a sponsor. Netcrafter, Internet Solutions. We're going to do some more things with a few charities in that area, including the Pedals and Pints crew out of. That's another place you haven't gone to,
Heard about
Millheim, where the Elk Creek Cafe. Where, hey, fisher folk, fisher people. What do you guys call each other?
Fisher Price?
Yeah, that's them.
Exactly.
Apparently, that creek that goes along the side outside of Coburn and Millheim is like one of the best fly fishing spots in the country.
Is that Penn's Creek?
Yep.
Yep.
So that's where Popatty is. Popatty
Yeah.
is Penn's Creek circles through. around
Brett,
there.
Brett took me by
Apparently, you
there
can like put
specifically.
in one part of the park and come out the other part. And it's a 2-hour float in between the two.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of things in life like that.
Yeah.
He's got us all.
I'm guessing. Hopefully, that's enough rambling about unpaved. But there's a lot. I mean, the website should now be mostly updated. Thanks, Brian, for going through and
Oh, my
fact check
pleasure.
some of that stuff. And
I did read. I will say I did take the time to read. I'm sorry.
oh, good. At least that's
So-
now 2 people have read it.
I haven't done it. I'm sorry.
He did
I
email
understand.
us, Wes.
I saw, but I haven't done anything with him.
It's
I
okay.
took a nap.
My wife didn't read it either. She's like, I'm not reading all this. I'm like, I know you're not. You're a racer. Racers never read all of it.
So are you like
I
putting
got
me
you.
like on the same level as your wife, basically? Like we're
In a lot of
almost
ways,
equals.
Yes, a lot of ways. A lot of ways.
I
Good to know.
got your back, Dave. You know that. I got your back. Howard wants to know: is everyone watching the chat going to be guaranteed a spot? I don't think that's the way that it works.
Nope.
But I don't. We still have like
Stay tuned.
You can actually get a
Yeah,
spot.
wait,
It's
who
crazy.
has
You
the
give
spots,
you
though?
give them money, and you get a spot. So yes,
This all works back. Comes full circle.
didn't we have
Who won the
Phil
last year?
Smith? Phil Smith.
Okay.
Remember he won. We did a very early
Yeah.
spring of last year giveaway to have the first entry in unpaved.
I don't think I've ever seen Phil that excited before.
And then he deferred
something
it.
else.
He deferred it. No, he deferred it to 2021. So we'll have to circle back on all of that and get all
Yes,
that
please.
together.
That's another reason why lottery's going to be 2 weeks, so I can circle back with all those people.
Yeah,
Because there's a few.
You probably promised a whole bunch of people the first spots.
Yeah, I did. I have a
2021.
list somewhere. I don't think I remember Phil being on that list though. So tell him to get in touch with me.
One last thing, Eddie wants to know if Rusty Rail's going to have waffle sauce on top,
Ooh, that's
on
good.
tap, waffle sauce on tap.
I don't know, but they're talking about doing a special beer with us, so maybe I'll
Ooh,
There we go.
say that's part of the flavor profile.
That was a good beer.
yeah.
I will
Yeah.
take beer recommendations that needs to be thrown at Rusty Rail for what the unpaved beer should be.
Cold.
I like that.
Cold.
Yeah,
I'll drink it.
I'm excited already. I'm giddy. I'm giddy. is a good way
I'm
to
so
put it.
excited too. I think there's so much can be done. I mean, the retreat. I think at some point, once everyone's like, "Yep, we're hanging out together,"
Yeah.
I think you guys need to give the listeners a retreat, and I'm here to help you make that magic
All
happen.
my winter training's put hard to work.
Yep. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
you're
now you
right.
can rest until that weekend.
I know. I'm good. I'm ready to go until October.
Everybody knows how we wrap up this show, and everybody gets to play this or that, and we have some fun unpaved this or that things coming up this week too. So, Dave, I'm going to toss this or that over to you first, then Joey, then me, then Wes. Does that sound right? That's the usual typical
Yep.
order.
Fine.
Okay, and this one, the first item on this week's this or that, I have to give a shout out to Nathan for finding a 2-year-old whoopie pie in his freezer.
Yes.
And Dave, I think you saw that too. So I definitely said we are going to come up with a this or that that is themed around Nathan's post, and I was going to give Nathan a shout out. So here we go. Would you rather have a 2-year-old unpaved whoopie pie or a fresh whoopie pie that's been dropped in road gravel?
Was it wrapped when it got dropped, or is it unwrapped?
Well, no, it would have to kind of be unwrapped, I guess. It'd have to be unwrapped. So you've got a brand new fresh whoopie pie, and you're getting ready to enjoy it, and boop, it drops into the gravel, and you pull the 5-second, and you pull it up. Or would you rather have a 2-year-old unpaved whoopie pie that you found in your freezer?
I've had a whoopie pie that we found at the start-finish area the day after that was kind of smushed into the ground. Ooh. And I ate part of it.
Nice.
The trash panda lives.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Joey's answer.
And it was delicious. I'm guessing it's one of the ones you threw at Ted King, Wes, and he just kind of...
Yeah, he didn't like me for some reason. It was weird.
Done paved.
And that was delicious. So...
Dirty pie.
Sure. I mean, both. But
There we go. Joey, where are you at?
I got frozen Tom whoopie pies. They're not unpaved whoopie pies.
Well, they're not 2 years old either,
No.
but they're not unpaved whoopie pies.
that kind of counts. It's like the shelf life.
Remember I left my toolbox, and I don't know how long. It was like a month until I got it back, and Brett said whoopie pies
might
in
have been
that.
longer than that.
Oh, he did.
So I don't know how long those whoopie pies sat out, and I ate them as soon as they came in the shop.
Those were from the same whoopie pies. Those were that day's whoopie pies.
I think they were that because he sent me. Those were out pretty long. Mm-hmm. But I'll probably eat it off the ground. It's just my style.
It is.
I wouldn't have no problem eating it off the ground. It's just gravel. I didn't say mud. It's just gravel.
Also just mud.
You know, you could just pick it off. You just brush it off, and you can always spit the parts out that are crunchy. So I would definitely,
especially with your teeth.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be able to keep the gravel in. It would just fall
Actually,
out.
Brian just smiles and just kind of pushes it through that hole.
You have no
Squeezes
idea.
it in like a Play-Doh.
Oh, it's like, remember you used to do that with French fries and like mashed potatoes when you were a kid?
You guys have
Do you still
no
do that
idea.
as an adult?
You guys have no idea the things that fall out of my mouth.
I don't want to know.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah, that's Gravel Travel Dirt After Dark.
Wes, where are you, buddy?
I don't know. I would love to I wish in my freezer I could open up and go back 2 years ago to unpaved.
Maybe that's how we do it. Everyone just open their freezer, walk in. And go,
I feel like a little bit of a time capsule.
it's like the hot tub machine.
We saved our wedding cake topper and had it a year later. Surprisingly better than I would have ever expected it to keep. Nice. So if that kept, I'm thinking whoopie pie would just be like, I would be there in my mind.
Okay.
You know, whether it was hallucinating or it just was something my mind's imagination, I would freeze it.
I actually declare a winner on this.
No, not eclairs.
I'm declaring
whoopie pies.
That was actually clever, Joey.
I'm declaring a winner of Dave Pryor, who just said both. That's a winning.
I'll eat a
that's
whoopie
the
pie.
Winning choice. Second item.
I would consider taking it off the ground, putting it in the freezer.
That's like picking 7 out of 1 through 10.
No, the only person that participated in the live stream is Casey, who said fresh, but nobody else is.
That is
like
the honest winner.
Well, if we're gonna pick, I'm gonna pick the alcohol-infused fresh ones.
There you go. Yeah,
those were so good.
They were.
Is that company still? What was that company?
I don't know, but I have this working memo for the team on Thursday, and that is now on it.
Yeah,
you know, I
they were
think,
excellent.
I think they were there as a part of the Woolly Worm thing.
Yeah,
they were. Well, no, because that was from the Children's Museum, so it wasn't them.
Well, but I mean, they were. They were next to the Woolly Worm. I think is what I meant.
Well, because they gave the whoopie pies. They did the whoopie pies for the Dunpave too.
Mommy, this whoopie pie.
That was for the adults.
Are different whoopie pies?
They're different.
You know, it's like a T-ball team.
Regardless, but they had all sorts of good flavors.
Because those are from Mennonites, and they were not alcohol infused.
Oh, they were so good though. So come on, live stream. You need to play along.
It's a Rumspringer.
Here is the second item on this week's This or That. Dave, is Disney's Goofy, the cartoon character Goofy, is it a cow or a dog?
What? It's a dog.
Yeah, that's like...
Yeah, it's a dog.
The end.
Yeah.
That's just a group consensus.
Make a new this or that for that one, Brian. That one doesn't count.
There's a debate.
That's common knowledge. There's not.
Yes, there is. There's a debate as to whether Goofy is a cow or a dog. There's, he had a girlfriend.
Well, unfreeze Walt Disney with your whoopie pie and get him out here, and he'll tell you.
He had a girlfriend that was a cow, and he was also known as a cow in one of the episodes. So there's a lot of debate on the internet, fellas, about whether Goofy was a cow or a dog.
What kind of cow has that kind of tail?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what's out there. So everybody. I would say dog too. So everybody.
I'm pretty sure
in the dog
Goofy
camp?
was originally Mickey's dog.
Yeah. Or was Pluto? Pluto was Mickey's dog.
Pluto was Mickey's dog, not Goofy. See? You're thinking about the wrong.
No, this is not already.
I know Goofy too. Yeah.
Cheek a hole in the armor. Like it's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think everybody said dog. Chuck, Eddie, Larry, everybody said.
But if he
dog.
wants to be a cow, it's okay with me. If he wants to be a cow,
he can be a cow. That's true. That's true. Third item on this week's This or That: if you were to ride unpaved, would you rather have a bike too big or a bike too small?
Hey, we whistled at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a. Do they make? I get they do make a larger warbird than what I have.
Let's think about what the pros and the cons of each would be.
Pros of the cons. Well, one, I mean, everyone.
Well,
worries about
cons don't
lawnmower
ride
draft.
bikes because they're in prison.
Not
Pros
all the
are at
time.
Sea Otter.
They have bikes sometimes.
To be fair. So Longwell Draft, that 4 mile section, which again is just 4 mile descent of 120 miles, but is super rowdy. And then you want the smaller bike for sure.
Mm-hmm. A bigger bike would be just devastating.
Yeah, it would be.
It would hurt you.
Just constant endos. And I guess you'd rather. So many people my size. I'm 6'2", and our road bike I ride at 60 or 61. But so many of my friends of my height ride like 58s, and I'm confused. But I don't know. I guess they can't be that wrong because they ride bikes.
I ride a
100
58.
mile. So yeah, I guess smaller.
Smaller.
Yeah.
Joey?
I was I don't know. I was riding like a size small e-bike today, and it felt amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Wait, is a smaller e-bike?
Yeah.
Well, he never specified.
No,
Sure.
no, I didn't.
You said
specify.
bike?
That's actually a good question.
I said bike.
If I can completely monkey wrench this for a second, because right now I'm still at the point where no e-bikes for unpaved, but I know I need to change that at some point, other than the race aspect of it. What's the range? Can one do 90 miles of with 8,000 feet of climbing on gravel roads?
If you set it to the right mode, we can ask Dustin Klein, but
You could put a battery. You could put a spare battery in one of
Trust me, he's on the invite list.
oh man,
Oh, man.
I will chip into that GoFundMe.
Joey will pay his
I'll use my
airfare.
ginger senses and yeah. No, all the at least for I can't speak for everyone. Specialized, all their new models have range extenders that go in the water bottle cage. You can totally program it to do 90.
Yeah, because you just tell it how many miles you want to be able to do. But I think what would throw the
But
monkey
does it
wrench
know
in.
that it's going to have like 6 mountains?
Yeah.
You can mission control. You can program in certain things within the app.
So you
can
could
tell
actually.
it. I think you.
Wow.
So
you can put
e-bikes
how
have
many
come a
feet of
long
climbing,
way.
I think on it. Yeah.
It's funny to describe
But then this gets away from the reason I want to bike e-bikes is because I want it for people who really could use it, need it to do this whole course.
Yeah.
But someone who's going to spend $15,000 on a bike that can do all that sort of stuff is probably also going to be able to ride the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to make it a more inclusive community where e-bikes, so this is but that's just for the extra far end. So I'm just pushing the far end out on the.
So could you make the e-bikes mainly for the 30 and 50?
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean they can, and I'm going to take radars to the bikes at the start line anyway.
You're gonna have your iPad out there and you scan them.
I'm just going to say if one needs to be rescued, I can say no, push it up the hill, coast it down.
I will say, Dustin's had some really great videos on his.
His range and things, and again, he's using it for whole, and that doesn't necessarily count. But
and he's an amazing rider, I would say.
And he's on a $12,000 bike.
Yeah, and he's using it for different purposes, but he's also opening the eyes to some people.
It's and sometimes in some of his videos he rides that and he doesn't even really focus on that.
No,
he doesn't even talk about the fact that that's what.
And
bike
he
he's
boosts
on.
it while he's 2
he's
miles
on a
behind.
24-pound version. There's plenty of people on pave riding heavier bikes that are not e-bikes.
Yeah. I doubt I'll have
Especially
my
pack.
warbird by then.
Yeah. So did you decide, Joey, bigger or smaller?
Sorry.
I'm gonna go smaller.
Thank you for that help.
I think I would go smaller too. I would just stand up the whole ride.
Oh,
anyway.
no, that's harder than it sounds.
That's
You
a
say
joke.
that?
It's a joke.
I did a holiday ride with a guy who had a saddle sore. He rode like 40 miles standing. He was miserable, and that was on road.
I'm
Ooh,
very
remember the first canal trip with Tom?
Yes.
The old tweener. Yep.
Tom brought his AWOL in today. He managed to put the little ring on the chain ring on the outside.
What?
I don't know how.
That's awesome. Reverse it.
It looks cool. I'm gonna
That's
take
the next
pictures.
this or that.
Yeah,
That's next week, not next week.
I'll take a picture. He doesn't listen to us, but he
Yes, he
he's,
does.
He's a
sometimes.
Patreon supporter.
Yes, he does sometimes.
Yeah, he monkeyed that thing.
How?
How did he even do that?
And I was like, dude, you put your chain rings on backwards. How? I don't know. You don't even know what that means. I'm like, well, you did it.
You took pictures of that, I hope, right?
I need to.
Bless his heart.
Oh,
Does it
boy.
work?
And
No.
Okay.
It'd be one of the things. It'd be awesome if it worked.
Yeah.
But the
That
shift.
might be an advantage because
shift
then you don't have
ramps
to worry
and
about it
everything are
dropping on the
backwards.
inside, and it'd be easier to pull back the outside.
How did he even do that?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Tom's an amazing man.
I saw his
Any
fairy
talents?
house, like his fairy house, literally the fairy house he built.
Yeah, he made a fairy house
was
for
awesome.
the
Whoa,
Amory
whoa.
Gardens.
Fairy
It's
house?
A fairy
It's an
house.
operational house as a fairy?
A gnome house.
And like it looks like a little Hansel and Gretel house.
Not like a go across the river.
And like it looks like a little Hansel and Gretel house.
Not like a go across the river on your house.
No,
I wish.
no.
Oh.
Oh wow, I went for like total mythical creature there, not like a boat.
So they have at the little Anne Marie Gardens, which is a little like artistic installation place right down here, very close to us. They have
Fairies in the garden.
fairies in the garden, and people build little houses and little places for the fairies to live, and the kids go through. But Tom built a gnome house,
Like real materials.
Yeah.
It must have weighed 100 pounds.
yeah, it was all stone and little window. Only one window in that house though. I have a problem, Tom. You needed to give them more fire escape because the little gnome
That's
houses.
true. That is not up to code.
No, not anywhere close to Calvert County code. So I definitely went with smaller bike. Wes,
We
where are
got
you
really
at?
Sidetracked. On
Yeah,
that.
that's okay, but I can keep us on path.
Can you?
Wes,
Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Well,
Wes, where are you?
Can you?
No.
Hey Wes, let's get started. Let's go.
It'd be pee break.
I was
and then
going
we
to say,
can
let's
roll.
break this down a little further.
I should not have said anything.
Because growing up, I was always told size matters. So that's a big piece. Plus, I can only pack so many whoopie pies in a medium-sized bike frame. Give me a large,
And bacon.
bacon.
Other
You
things,
can
yeah.
you can put alcohol
Much
in
bigger
it.
frame bag size. Yeah, and that
It's true.
center triangle.
I don't know. I think I go bigger.
No,
Yeah, why not?
so you can carry more stuff.
I can
That's
just
a
turn
smart
my
answer.
handlebars around when I need to get closer
Right.
to
You
them.
can do the
Yeah.
Or put
DUI
my
model.
lay down bars backwards. That'd be good.
Smart
also work.
answer.
Put a pillow there.
Joey, did anybody what's going on? In
All
the
I
live
read
stream?
was drop bar fatty. I don't understand the drop bar fat bike crave.
Let me see. I'm going to go back to the beginning.
Unless they're
Drop
talking
Bar
about something
Fatty is
else,
like
but-
that sounds like an awesome band name.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
I'm going all the
That's
way
like
back.
Andy Dwyer. Drop bar fatty. I claimed it now.
Goofy as a hippo. Larry went big. Tom went depends upon how far, but probably too big. That's Tom Stewart. Michael Goldsmith, big. Casey
Isn't
Fenton.
everything big for Tom Stewart?
I don't know. Damn. Casey Fenton, too small. Standover on Longwell Draft. Yep. Ted, bigger bike, more room for bacon. See, Ted was, light years ahead. Eddie, bike too small. We also thought we did this last year. We probably did because
We've done this before somewhere.
We're
yeah.
running out.
There's only so many this or that.
I got to
Give
come
us some
up.
this or that's, people. What are you doing?
I've
Stop
got
to-
complaining and
Next time,
provide
do
the
that or
solution.
this.
Yeah.
I've got to come up with 8 every week. Chuck said too small. Elizabeth,
Why?
8. We
too
only do
small.
4.
Well,
What do
yeah.
you do with the other 4? Do you throw them away?
Eddie, you can always add, but you can't take
We
away.
may not
this.
listen to the other podcast.
Keith said bigger.
We take the
that's
same
right, they
exact
do that.
words.
I have like a Redshift
They do
kitchen
that at
sink.
Fisher Price podcast.
Yeah, and Tom, I had nothing
few
to
of the
do with
greatest
that because
toys.
Tom,
Sell itself.
this is directed at you, or Joey, this
This
is
one we all
directed
talk
at
of each
you.
other? Are we at that point of the show?
This
Yeah.
is the part, where we do
Thank
it.
God we practiced.
Tom said easy, fellas.
No, Tom.
That's directed
Tom's
at
on
you, buddy.
vacation right
That's
now.
directed to you. He's watching us on his vacation. How does that make you feel? Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
You got to get a better vacation, Tom.
Also,
What are you
Tom
doing?
and Ted were down
People
at
pay me
Topsail
good
at the
money
same
to go on
time.
their vacations, so it's all good with me.
And it has
I
gone
don't
off the
20
rails.
miles my day
Yeah.
off.
It's gone off the rails, and I've lost control.
Are we all talking at the same time again?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Cicadas.
my
Last
dog's
item.
going to start barking.
That's
Last
what we're
item.
doing right now.
Yeah, here we go. That guy, that sound engineer is going to, really ring us.
Last item on this or that.
Heavy
Cicadas
editing.
cooked in a wok or deep